Darian Kendrick did get his ACL yesterday, and I'm really proud of the way that he's worked. He's continued to really mature in a lot of different ways, and if there's one thing you know about this guy, he can handle setbacks. He'll have a lot of support from his teammates and coaches, and he'll attack the rehab. He'll probably get that surgery here in a couple weeks, but that's tough for him, and bummed out about that, but there's been a good couple days worth of work.
Darius okay?
I'm not sure.
Did you get a chance? You were over there. Did you get a chance to hear what happened?
Yeah, he felt it in his hamstring.
With Darian out, will you guys explore adding another cornerback?
There's a possibility of that, Gary. We have some depth right now, but being 2 days in and then having kind of a deloaded day, and then we'll turn it back up on Saturday. So we'll look at those things. The thing you want to make sure you don't do is when you get short on that depth, other guys have to pick up the slack, and then it can kind of have an accumulation of some workloads that you want to be mindful of. So we'll definitely take that into consideration.
Any chance you might bring a Kello Witherspoon back as a guy who
I would never eliminate it. I thought he did a really good job. I loved working with Kello last year, and so it's definitely something that you wouldn't eliminate.
What were your impressions of the cornerbacks the first 2 days?
I was really impressed. I thought we played really good sticky coverage, been mixing up a bunch of different things, but the guys are on the screws mentally. I've been really impressed with, Darius has obviously done a great job. I think that Kobe Durant's really taken some good steps, and it's been great to have Trey White out there. And so, bummed out for Darian, like I had mentioned, but overall, I really think our back end with the different things that we're doing over the first couple days, been really pleased. I think I can't say enough about the job that Chris and Aubrey and Coach Beek and Mike Harris have done, and Greg Williams, to be able to get these guys all understanding how to play 7 as 1, and for the first couple days, I've been really pleased.
Coach Puka's coming off an amazing year, and it looks like he's lighting it up still this year. And what areas have you seen him improve?
Seen him lighting it up so far, huh?
Yeah.
No, he's done great. Here's what I've seen. I've seen a really humble guy that he and Cooper have really been kind of hand in hand this offseason. And the thing that's so special about Puka is he's only going to continue to mature. You could see physically looks better. He's really had a good rhythm and routine. But the humility, the work ethic, the ability to just have a growth mindset, all those things are why you love him so much. And so I feel really fortunate to work with him.
Even if you have to be careful with some of the guys in camp, obviously we don't know with Darius, but then also with Trey White uploading more snaps, who are some younger players who have at that position who have maybe taken a step forward, who you'd like to see take a step forward?
It's hard to say right now. I think, you'd like to see Trey Tomlinson. He missed the latter part of the spring, but thought he was making some good progress early on. Josh Wallace is a guy that we got as a young free agent that, had a really prolific career at Michigan. He's played big-time ball. Charles Woods has done some things, so we'll continue to monitor that, and we're definitely not going to rush the process with Trey White just because of some of those things. And hey, I'm sorry. Gary ended up, maybe Kello's a possibility for us.
Looks like last year Puka had a really physical style of play. How do you balance that going into this year?
I think it's kind of similar to what we talked about with Kyron. You want to make sure that you don't take away one of his elite traits. Those are things that he gives an edge to our offense to be able to do in terms of the physicality that he plays with, whether it's in the run game, in the pass game, Sarah. But you do want to be mindful of that workload and that toll and the toll it takes on your body through the course of 17 games and then hopefully afterwards. But I do feel really good about the foundation that he's set, and we're hopeful that he'll be able to pick up where he left off and improve upon that.
What would you describe as the kind of development and kind of growth of the relationship between Puka and Cooper in this offseason, but just over the course of last year to now?
I think the first thing is that Puka comes in and you got such respect for the way that Cooper Kupp just handles himself. You see on the back of a lot of our shirts model the way Cooper has done that in so many different ways with how he handles himself really in every facet, who he is as a person. So I think he kind of earns that respect. And then Cooper has such a heart for Puka. You can see they really love and respect one another. They've only gotten closer. They spend a lot of time together, and it reminds me similar to a similar relationship that existed between Cooper and Robert Woods, and that was a really special thing to see. And so I love watching those two do their thing.
Coach Quorum's workload, it looked like you guys were mixing him in quite a bit today. Just what went into that and what have you seen from him?
Yeah, it's really, Ron Gould does such a great job, Stu, of mixing it up. We've got some depth in the backfield. Ron's kind of got the autonomy in these practice settings to be able to mix and match whatever he thinks is best based on if we're scripted or if we're unscripted. But Blake is a mature rookie, did a great job in the offseason. Again, I'm looking forward to getting the pads on and being able to see, the lines of scrimmage, how our backs are ended up handling different things. But so far, so good with Blake, and not really sure. You have to ask Ron Gould about that one.
Coach, you guys look like you guys are working on some things with your screen game there. How important is screen game to you guys' offense?
I think really all phases of our offense. There's different phases of the pass game. We did implement a couple screens today, had a couple of them to the back yesterday. So I think it's really important to be able to take pressure off the rush, make people defend, the width and depth of the field. And so today was a good execution of some of the things that we're looking to do, and we'll see how big of a factor it can be for us.
Couple more guys.
Sean, did you want Puka to get lighter?
I'll get to you next. Go ahead.
Kevin Dotson fully healthy. I see the rotation.
Yeah, he just felt a little something in his toe yesterday, so he was back out there today. And when I asked him before practice how you feeling, he said he's totally fine. So I said, why the hell did you miss a little bit yesterday then? So no, but he's feeling good.
Did you want Puka to get lighter during the offseason, and are you concerned about him taking a pounding with the way that he plays?
He really weighs about the same. I think he's really just, he's physically, he looks leaner, but I think he's really taking care of his body. It wasn't about getting lighter. It was about really just finding that functional weight that he feels is best for him. I think he's kind of in that sweet spot, but he is, he's somebody that I think is really at a very similar weight, but I think just in terms of just the overall muscle mass compared to, some of that little baby fat that he had is a little bit better. So he looks great.
Davis talked about how they tried to empower him as a leader now at center. What do you think he brings in terms of leadership to the offense?
I think he's got a nice way about himself. He's refreshingly secure in himself. He's got a great way that he just kind of moves from one snap to the next, and he can play really physical in between snaps, but he's really confident to be able to make calls. He saw a great example in Coleman Shelton and Brian Allen, two veterans that were at that center spot last year, being able to play next to him at the left guard. But I think Ryan Wendell deserves a ton of credit for the teaching progression, but I've been really, really pleased with Steve in the way that he's come back ready to go. I think he's had really good command and communication over these first couple days, and we're still in the early parts of our install at him, but just really excited about the possibilities, but you got to keep earning it every day. But so far he's done a great job.
Last two, Jordan, then Kurt.
Thank you. Sean, noticed on the website Sean Desai's title there was an assistant head coach or associate head coach.
Associate.
But I see him on the offensive sideline in consideration of his defensive background. Can you kind of describe his role a little bit?
Yeah, it'll be very similar to what Jimmy Lake's was. Jimmy Lake was instrumental in a lot of the things that we did, but to be able to have a defensive perspective on the offensive side of the ball, and then even, you look at the relationship that he and Aubrey have, and Chris Beek and Chris Shula, these guys are all just trying to positively push one another, use their experiences. Aubrey's our assistant head coach. You'll see him coach one of our preseason games and do a great job and lean on him heavily. But in the first couple months of getting to know Sean, I've really enjoyed him. He's got an unbelievable capacity for the game and a great humility about himself. And so I'm glad we were able to talk him into coming and joining us.
Sean, last one, guys.
In the spring, and in this camp, rather, Brady Fisk and Jared Verse, how much are you watching them? How much are you talking to Chris Shula about them?
Oh, all the time. We try to be in great communication as a coaching staff. I try to stay connected to all of our players. I thought Jared Verse, I really felt him today. I thought he showed up in some pass rush situations yesterday. Thought he did again today, but I thought he was played more complete in both phases just from watching him from the sideline. And I felt Braden Fisk these first couple days. He's got a great demeanor. Both of those guys are exactly what we're looking for, and I want to just continue to see them grow, get comfortable with what we're asking of them, but also be themselves, because that's one of the reasons that we love them, just the way that they're innately wired, and they love this game, and you can see they've done a really nice job. We're excited about them. Okay? Thank you, guys.
Waited you out.
No. Thank you guys for waiting. Sorry about that.
Hey, so Cooper, just a guy like you achieved so many things in your career, one of the better receivers in the league. Coming into this training camp, are there some things that you're like, I'm focusing on this training camp that I can get better at this area?
Oh, there's always stuff. I mean, I think defenses in this league are always changing the contours of the defense, whatever you're seeing. Being able to ID some of that stuff, and just have plans, be able to. Whatever you did last year, have a counter to it. Show some different ways to do things. And I've got these artists going after somebody. But being able to have some guys, even just defensively, that have played this game for so long, be able to bounce ideas off them. it's been fun. I don't want to give too many specifics here, but like it has been nice to kind of get into some of the stuff with guys that just love ball and love talking about the nuances of the game.
And then with Puka, coach was talking about you guys' relationship and how it's been growing and how you've been able to help him. Looking at him, with you being the receiver guru guy, what areas have he improved so far in this camp?
Yeah, I mean, I think just his comfortability in this offense in general. You see, he's moving great. The speed at which he's playing, just because he's not thinking about stuff. He knows the offense now at this point. Last year, there's so much going through your head. You're trying to figure out what are your parameters on each play. But for him just to be able to play free, play fast, and practice, one of the best things you can do is experiment, try some new things, be able to try different tools in the utility belt, and his ability to do that, and then be able to just put words to things and being able to talk through things with him. He's been doing a great job.
Hey, Cooper, saw you out on a couple days on campus. What do you think of LMU?
LMU, it's nice. I mean, shoot, it's solid. It's been a long time since I've been in a dorm, so that's new. But the campus is beautiful. I mean, I like the grass. There's lots of good grass.
How are the dorms?
They're dorms.
We saw you out on stage with Puka Nacua. You're a good influence on him. Is he a good influence on you? Is what I mean.
Yeah, he is. No, it is good. I can't get rid of him. He just kind of sticks around everywhere. But no, it has been fun. We've got, and it's just been. He's got a good relationship. He's trying to teach me some new things. What are the young kids doing? I try to teach them Settlers of Catan. Like, there's some good, young stuff, old stuff. It's good.
Has he gotten you eating McDonald's?
No, he knows better than to try to do any of that.
What was your off-season like? Workouts?
They were good. I mean, we 3 days a week. We're at 6 a.m. The other days, I think we're actually at 6 a.m. every day of the week. Honestly, I don't even remember what days it was, but it was good, man. It was just good to have him around and have some time every single day that we were focused on just pushing each other, trying to get better. He's willing to work. He knows that there's one of the hardest things is to have success early and then be able to continue to push and say there's more out there. And he's done a great job of that, and put the right foot forward to be able to set himself up to be able to go do something pretty special this year.
What's it been like working against Darius Williams and Tre'Davious White?
Yeah, I mean, those are the two guys that I'm referencing. I like two guys that I love bouncing ideas off of. Those two, they've played a lot of football, and obviously I've got a history playing with D. Will. I've played against Trey before, and those guys just be able to bounce ideas off them. They're students of the game, and it's fun to have that on the other side of the ball, to be able to bounce things off of each other and see what works, what doesn't. It's a blessing having guys like that on defense.
And what was it like for you on report day with the Stafford situation kind of unfolding in real time or whatever? Were you aware of what was happening, and how was it affecting you?
I was aware of it, but there's you got guys that love ball, guys that have done a lot of really cool things together, built really strong relationships, and at the end of the day, when people are talking, when they're communicating, things are going to get worked out. The issue happens when no one's talking, right? If you can just be in communication, talk through things, things are going to get done. So I trusted that those guys were going to figure that out, and I'm thankful we were, and we were able to have them these last 2 days.
Cooper, you hear Sean say stacking blocks throughout the year. How is it different for you, and what does stacking blocks mean in training camp compared to the regulars?
Yeah, well, I think it is the same thing. It's off season as well. It's built every single day. There's something you're working towards. We don't just train just because we want to train, right? It's not just because it's healthy for you, right? There's a focus. There's a purpose behind every single day, and it's building into OTAs. And you go through the OTAs stuff. You're establishing your culture. You're learning your systems. You go through the summer, and it's like, hey, we're stacking now to be able to launch into training camp. A little bit of touching a little bit more football, knowing that that's going to be a heavy dose of what you're doing now. And everything's purposeful, and you're stacking that stuff and building, and all this stuff goes to basically culminate in being able to take off when the season starts and be at your peak, and then it's just like sustaining that. How can you sustain that energy, but knowing that there's going to be building blocks as you have stuff that you're going to run, and it's going to build as the season goes. You're going to adapt and change and build off of all the different plays that you've run. And I think that's just the beauty of football, is the adaptation, the flow of what that is.
As a veteran, forgive me if you were asked this already. I watched it a little bit late, but Davis Allen, what change, if any, have you seen in him year
1 to year 2?
Yeah, I mean, shoot, similar to what I was kind of saying about Puka, is just his confidence being able to step up and be in the huddle and know what's happening, not feel like he's thinking. He just knows how to do things, how we operate, and then he's able to play free. You saw, I don't know if you guys saw the play yesterday, but just go up, make some big plays. He's a big target. All those tight ends that we got there, really big targets and physical at the point of attack. Those guys are they're playing really well right now.
The way you and Matthew were on the same page today, I mean, the anticipation on one of the throws, I think it was an out route where he hit you well before your break and you were able to slide and make the catch. What's it like just being able to have that again, especially in training camp?
Yeah, I think that's. I mean, you love that as a receiver, being on the same page and being able to come out of breaks and kind of know where the ball is going to be. And Matthew does such a great job of anticipating. I mean, it's fun when I'm seeing something as a receiver. When you're seeing something and you can trust the quarterback seeing the same thing. That's a good feeling. So it makes football fun, and he does such a great job of turning small windows into big windows, making the big time throws, and it's always a lot of fun. Yeah.
Cooper, we talked a lot about Puka and your workout. It's well documented. You look more fit, more lean. You've always been fit. Is that accurate? Did you do anything different nutrition-wise?
No, I think it's just been, it has been a few years since I've been able to have a full off season. That's a big part of it. It was all the way back since off season going into 21 that I was able to be healthy and go through everything. Super Bowl, you're recovering for so long after that season. Obviously injured that next year and missed that whole off season. So being able to have a full off season is a big piece of that. And it's, like I said, the focus, the intentional mindset that goes into every single day of the off season. I do feel like I'm in a really good place. Yeah, perfect. Thank you guys.
Have a good one.
Scoop.